well. So mentally don't have any barriers. I have heard so many students, this is not a one-off comment. I have heard, now you'll see, of course this is about me, like Mahesh, I also have a disclaimer. The views that I'll be presenting today, the views and opinions, these are my personal opinions. They do not reflect that of my organization. So essentially I am here in my personal capacity. Some of the things about me, I love traveling. Fortunately, the kind of job I do, I have been very lucky to have probably traveled to more than 25 states in India and probably about 30 countries in the world. It's all because of the pharma industry. It's not because of me. Then I love writing. In fact, I would like to thank Mahesh today. So we were colleagues about 12 years ago. And at that point of time, I was still in my 20s, late 20s. And I used to look up to Mahesh, and there was one more colleague. In fact, they were prolific writers. So Mahesh, if you don't follow him on the internet, you can do that and you will see he's a prolific writer. And in fact, 12, 13 years ago, he had traveled abroad to deliver lectures at say international venues like say Munich, Germany, if I'm not mistaken. And I was in complete awe of him. That wow, I have a colleague who's so humble, down to earth, and he's such a prolific writer with such great following on the internet. He's traveled abroad to deliver lectures. In fact, I think he was one of my inspirations to take up writing. And today I think it's a great opportunity for me to thank him. So I love writing. I do a fair bit of speaking engagements. As I said, colleges have been very kind, 100. I'm touching that number. I love running as well. I've done the world's highest altitude marathon, which is the Ladakh Marathon. And I'm into humor as well. So youngsters, I believe you must be loving memes. So as a 41-year-old, I am pretty prolific memer as well. So let me go ahead. Yeah, so you see this poster from the movie Judwa, right? So Varun Dhawan wala Judwa. And you see virtually they are the same. You know, after speaking with so many students, after visiting so many colleges, one thing I've realized is people use sales and marketing interchangeably. So when I used to work in sales, many of my relatives or friends used to say, "Are tu marketing मध्ये काम करतोस." So you know, many people, are you clear about the difference in sales and marketing? Be honest. This is a safe environment. How many of you know what is the difference between sales and marketing? Raise your hands. You can be honest. If you don't know, just raise your hands. You know what is the difference between sales and marketing? So be honest. I see some people are nodding their heads. If you don't know, just raise your hands. I started my career, I did not know. So, okay, good. I like honesty. You need to be honest. You know, even when you start working, it's always better, even if you have bad news, communicate to your boss at the earliest. Mahesh gave us some great tips that why he was successful. Make your boss's weakness your strength, you're bound to grow. A wonderful insight. I'm going to write it somewhere. So, you know, if you don't know something, say you don't know it, there are problems, highlight them early. So, you know, sales and marketing are completely different. Of course, in fact, last year I came here, Iskar sir invited me, very kind of you. I spent 2 days with students of Lotus Business School. In fact, one of the areas we covered was what is the difference between sales and marketing. We went into those topics pretty much in depth. So, you know, sales is a field-based job. So, you will be in the field, you will be meeting a certain set of doctors ranging from 50 to 200. You will be covering only, say, a city or a part of the city. Say, you will be typically meeting doctors, pharmacists, you will be going to hospitals. You have a target, you have to meet your sales target, you continuously communicate about the products. It's a role which is, I would say, a very ground level role. But it's a very important role. Unless you understand the ground realities, you cannot be a good marketeer. Now, when I say marketeer, typically when you say product manager is a part of the marketing team. And that job, so we heard Mahesh talk about the suit boot thing. You know, typically it's an office-based role, and your responsibilities are, say your responsibilities are throughout India. So you're looking at, say, your brand or a group of products across India. It's a glamorous job, of course. I know many of you, after an MBA, you would like to say be in the head office, right? You want to be in an AC environment. Nobody wants to say go on a bike in say 40 degrees temperature, meeting 10, 12 doctors, meeting 20 chemists, say haggling with the stockists, say worried about sales target. Of course, nobody wants that. But then we heard about Shiksha and Diksha. So when you look at your sales stint, look at it as Diksha, not Shiksha. So first of all, if you're clear about that distinction, I think you can move from sales to marketing in a very effective way. But don't look at your sales stint as a Shiksha. So I would personally recommend all of you should work in sales for at least 2 years for you to have a very good understanding of sales, and that will help you to become a great marketer. Unless you have that knowledge, I can tell you, your sales guys will take you for a ride. Even if you are in head office as a marketing person, say, as they typically say, what syndrome is that? Imposter. You feel like an imposter because every day your sales guys are taking you for a ride. So how can you make it happen? Okay, so it's a matter of choice. See, first of all, if you are in sales and if you are doing well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a matter of choice. So you see that bend in the road. Say one career choice is say sales, the other career choice is marketing. Both are equally great options. So in sales you can say grow in the hierarchy. You have, say, you start off as a medical rep or a sales rep or a territory manager. The nomenclature differs, but it's the same. It's a starting level position. You are an individual contributor. The sales reps typically report into an area manager. The area manager is probably in charge of, say, few districts or a state. The area manager reports into the regional manager, who's probably looking after, say, the west zone or say the east zone. The regional managers report into a national sales manager. The national sales manager reports into the business unit head. So the idea is that even if you continue in sales, there is tremendous growth in sales as well. If you choose marketing as a career path, there is tremendous growth in marketing as well. You can start off as a management trainee, you move on to, say, product executive, product manager, say senior product manager, group product manager, a marketing head, marketing director. From there as well, you can become a business unit head. So somewhere the paths converge. So from sales as well, you can become a business unit head. You can become a managing director as well. Even if you continue marketing as a path, you can end up there. But then don't discriminate. The whole point is both fields offer tremendous growth. So in your approach, be balanced. Again, as I said, it's a matter of choice. Now, as a marketer, so although I have worked in the industry for 20 years, say I have spent about 19 years in marketing, both country level marketing and global marketing. So I think I'm in I would say, a decent situation to give you advice on how can you move from sales to marketing. It's not easy, no transition is easy, but then let me give you some pointers on that. So, okay, let's go ahead. So, first of all, typically, I'm assuming, say, most of you join in sales in, say, a good company as a medical representative. Typically the way companies are structured, you'll see that companies are structured as per disease areas. So you'll see companies have dedicated business units, say, for psychiatry, cardiology, diabetes, oncology, gastro, so on and so forth. So you will be in a typical business area which is very specialized. Now it's very important to master your therapy area. Whichever disease area you're handling, say you're working in cardiology, you're working in diabetes, it's very important, if you want to move from sales to marketing, that whichever therapy area you're working in, master that therapy area. Now you'll say, "Arey, but I'm not a doctor to master the therapy area." Whichever company you work for, small, mid-size, big company, Indian company, MNC, you have learning opportunities built into the system by default. So your company typically gives you a lot of promotional material to, say, promote to doctors. Your company gives you training programs. You are constantly speaking with doctors. You are speaking with colleagues. Utilize all those opportunities as learning opportunities. The great sales reps, they enhance their knowledge. So typically whatever your company has sent you, say there will be a lot of leave behind material, there are videos, there are podcasts. Rather than blindly giving it to doctors, first of all, you read or listen or watch those materials carefully. If you do that continuously, there is no way you cannot learn about your therapy area in a great way. And that will help you, say, to convince your doctors as well. So moving from sales to marketing, it is not only your career objective, it will not happen unless you are great at your current job. So you will master your therapy area well by doing or implementing these simple tips. I can tell you a real story in one of my previous companies. In fact, I can tell you, it was in fact in Sanofi. We had a sales rep in Calcutta, and this was a neurology business that we were handling. This guy was so good. He was not even an MBA, but his knowledge about our products, knowledge about the therapy area was so good. In fact, he used to read books which, say, the neurology, say, postgraduate students used to read. head office guys said, what is he doing in Calcutta? We should give him a bigger platform. He did not even ask for it, but the head office people said, let's get him to head office, let's get him into marketing, because he was that good. He went beyond expectations. He was a true master of his therapy area. So that's the importance. If you want to move from sales to marketing, this is not going to happen now. I know your students, most of you are say MBA students or B Pharmacy students, but say I spoke about your future in the pharmaceutical industry. So say 3 years, 4 years down the line, please remember these tips. This will come handy. Now, again, as I said, say only having an aspiration of say moving from sales to marketing is not enough. Say whom will the head office guys consider when they want to pick up say somebody from field into head office for a marketing role? They will look at who are my top performers. So fortunately, when you work in the corporate world, say it's not like Olympics or it's not like IPL where you have only one winner. There can be many winners. That's the best part about the corporate world. So say if your company has 3,000 sales reps, I'm not saying that you be the first or you be the best amongst those 3,000. It's good even if you are amongst the 300 best reps in your company. Because you might say that, okay, I have an aspiration to come to head office. But they will look at your sales numbers. They will look at the kind of relations you have with the doctors. They will look at, say, the kind of relationship you have with your channel partners, be it the chemist, be it the stockist, how you are with your team members, are you developing yourself? So, always aspire to be amongst the top 10% of employees in your company on all fronts, not only the sales achievement, but whatever that matters. See, any company will lay out the expectations very well. We want people to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Those expectations try to be amongst the top 10% of your company, which is easy, right? If your company has 3,000 employees, is it difficult to be amongst top 300? Not really. So remember this. And only if you do this, your company will consider you for, say, bigger and better assignments. Let's go ahead. Also on your job, say many a times you might feel, so I'll be very honest with you. First 3 months on the job as a sales rep, so I don't have any background. In fact, the last time I studied science was in 10th standard. So I passed out SSC in 1996. So just imagine, I never studied science after my SSC. And then in 2002, I land up in a pharma company and I have to say deal with science, I have to say promote products to doctors, I have to deal with patients. But that first 3 months, I actually felt that job was a punishment. Every day for the first 3 months, I said, Arey, let me leave pharma. And as it is, I did not have any background in pharma. I was not a B Pharmacy graduate. I had not done a pharma MBA. So for me, I was least invested in pharma. So every day, for first 90 days, I used to think, let me go to FMCG, let me go to durables, let me go to automobiles, let me go to, say, a call center. Back then, call centers used to pay 3 times more money than what pharma used to pay. So, first 3 months I hated my job. But then, I learned that there are many good aspects about the job. So, you are in close touch with your customers. So, I spoke about what a sales rep does. So sales rep is in continuous touch with the doctors. Sales rep also has, say, probably at a distance, he's also able to see patient pain points. You're talking with pharmacies, you're talking with stockists. So, you have a unique on-ground perspective, which the head office people don't have. So, if you want to transition from sales to marketing, you can be a valuable partner to marketing by sharing structured feedback with them. So, what is structured feedback? Say, marketing is always implementing new campaigns. Can you give them feedback about those new campaigns, whether they are landing well with their doctors? Is that communication really making a change in doctor behavior? Or say, what are the pharmacies saying? What are the doctors saying? What are the stockists saying? So, if you share structured feedback with your head office team, they will see you as a valuable partner. That, okay, Tushar is very good. Tushar is excellent. He always gives me feedback on my campaigns. So, there will be visibility for you. So I don't want you to believe in psychophancy. मैं head office वालों के साथ अच्छा relation build करूँगा कि I will give them gossip and I'll tell them some useless things. Instead, share structured feedback. They will see you as a partner. They will see you as a future prospect. This is one person who is thinking differently than others, and this will help you to make that transition. Also, many times we have aspirations, but we don't share them with the right people. So, if you want to say move from, say, you are a sales rep in Pune, but then you feel that you have the talent, you have the caliber to say be in Mumbai head office and look after all India responsibilities. But you never communicated that. So, your aspirations, if you want to move from sales to marketing, let your aspirations be known to the right people. So, who are the right people? Say your immediate boss, your boss's boss, say people from head office, say your business unit head, or say people from HR. Say they should know that okay, if Amit wants to, what does Amit want to do in his career? Say you might be the best person in your sales team with say the right skills to become a product manager, but if you don't let your aspirations be known to the right people, it will never happen. So be bold, but at the same time, you have to have your basics in place. Say if you're not amongst the 10% people in your company and then you go and say, Arey, by the way, I want to handle all India responsibilities, it's not going to happen. So first deserve and then expect. So if you're deserving and if you expect, also communicate. So maintain conversation. Even when you meet someone, say a industry person who's experienced, you think you can learn from that person. Say you want to move from sales to marketing, that person has already done that 10 years ago. Can he or she be your mentor? Absolutely yes, because they have already done that transition. But then be clear that you want to learn from them. Not say, and today say just imagine, you put yourself in say any industry person's position, Sujit. A stranger reaches out to you and tells you, give me a job. It's like, that's not going to happen, right? If a stranger reaches out to you and says, Sujit, please marry me, will you do that? No. So it's as simple as that. So when you engage with industry people, say identify, this can be someone from outside your company or within your company as well. So you are a sales rep, you might see there is a marketing head or a product manager who's friendly with you. Can you make them your mentor? Have say structured learning. Kya marketing के job में होता क्या है? Exactly what does marketing involve? Say today as a sales rep, what skills do I need to pick up to move to marketing? A mentor can help you with that. Say if you have any doubts, queries, whom will you go to? If you have a dedicated mentor, you can easily get that done. So whenever I speak in any college, this is one advice I give everyone. Say right at your student days. So right now your students, please find industry mentors and learn from them. Say don't expect jobs from them, but then you can learn tremendously from them. Learn how the industry works. Learn what are the nuances, what are the opportunities, challenges, what skills you should pick up to become a valuable asset. So right in your student days, please do that. So you can do that in your personal network as well, right? So in your personal network, relatives, friends, family, you can find someone in the pharma industry. You can reach to people through LinkedIn. You can reach out to people who come to your college. So don't tell me that, okay, it's very difficult to find mentors. The answer is no. You can easily find mentors. And do that in your student days. It can tremendously help you. So you will be much better prepared when you say start your job than most other people. Also, Mahesh spoke about it. I'm just repeating what you spoke. Your career is going to last for like 40 years and you have to continuously learn. And when you want to make a transition, it becomes all the more important. Say if you want to transition from sales to marketing, please understand that, okay, what skills, apart from, of course, you're doing an MBA, you have already learned a lot. But don't have the feeling, Gary, whatever there was to learn, I have already learned in the MBA. I have done my MBA, now I know everything. Don't have that approach. So, Urande sir also spoke about, say, the importance of AI, ML. See, technologies are emerging. So, you can always enhance yourself. Once you have a mentor, you have an understanding. Okay, what kind of skills you need to pick up. Keep learning. So, today, you can actually go to YouTube. There are so many forums, platforms where you can learn for free. Say, on Coursera, you can do some amazing courses for 2,000-3,000 rupees, which is nothing. Say you have LinkedIn Learning, you have so many other platforms. You can do good courses for as cheap as 400-500 rupees. So, perspective that okay, which skills I need to build and continuously keep doing. Time comes, you get an opportunity for an interview. Say your head office calls you for an interview for a position of a product manager, and they ask you a question. Say apart from your job, say you're doing your sales, you have good relations, you have good communication skills, you have good disease knowledge. But what extra have you done to say for us to consider you for a product manager position? Over there, this will help. If you tell them that, okay, I have been good in these 10 things, but apart from that, this is what extra I have done. Say I have learned digital marketing, I have learned analytics, I have learned say more about the disease area. So the more you present in terms of your learning, it will make your case stronger. So if you want to be say a product manager, this will definitely help you. Okay. Now this is one thing I see that I know that say we are all good at communication. So if I speak with someone in, even I love speaking in Marathi and Hindi. Marathi is my mother tongue. Hindi is something I grew up with in Mumbai. So I love speaking in Marathi and Hindi. Of course, English is a compulsion. So we learned in English medium schools, college, and of course that's the language that you communicate at work. But then no matter whether you like it or not, you have to sound good. At times you might feel, this is very shallow, that okay, I might not be very good at English or communication skills or presentation skills. It's a necessary evil. So say, if you're working in sales and marketing, you have to have great communication skills. So that includes your written skills, your say public speaking skills, and say there will be times when say as a sales rep as well, you have to present in front of your say entire region, say 40-50 people. At that point of time, if you are not good at public speaking, no matter how good you are at your job, it will say dent your impression. Or say if you are a product manager and if you cannot speak fluently, or say you cannot communicate ideas in a very sharp, crisp manner, it will hurt your career prospects. Because say if you are presenting to your business unit head, or say even the managing director of the company, and if you are not able to communicate well, if you don't sound say sophisticated or good, your impression will take a hit. So this is the time. Say your students, and in fact I think in MBA, this is one of the great things that you have. You get many opportunities to improve your communication skills. You're constantly making presentations, you're say giving presentations. So use all those opportunities to improve your communication skills, written, say spoken, as well as say public speaking skills. I'll give you a few tips. It's very easy. So when we were students, we didn't have say mobile phones with say video cameras. Today, all of you I believe have smartphones, right? So whenever you have a presentation, practice for it, record yourself, and then watch those videos. See, even today, so Mahesh already spoke about TED.com, phenomenal, where you can see very good speakers. There's a forum called as Toastmasters. They have sessions on Saturday and Sunday, and their annual fees is some 5,000 rupees, which is nothing. So very low fees. If you really want to be a great speaker, join Toastmasters for a year, and I believe in a city like Pune, they must be having multiple centers. So do invest in your communication skills, because this is something which will help you throughout your life. So just imagine, I believe, sir, how many students must be there in this room right now? 200 students. I personally believe all of you will go places. By the time you retire, all of you will be vice presidents, directors, managing directors, founders, entrepreneurs. And say at that point of time, you need great communication skills, because if you're leading a company of 200 people, 5,000 people, or a lakh people, if you're not a great communicator at that level, say at a director, VP, MD level, people will make fun of you. So as 21, 22, 23-year-olds, invest in your communication skills so that later you don't have to regret. Now, this is the last point. I close after this thing. Many a times what happens is, you are in a good company, you're doing everything right. Say you're a great performer, everything is right, and then for some reason you're still not able to move from sales to marketing. Be ready to move on. So people get stuck in a particular organization and they have this feeling, I have done everything here. Now I want my rewards in the same place. At times it doesn't happen. Be ready to move on. So if you are say working, and this is not something I have made up. So these are real conversations I have had with many people. The barriers are, they say, but then today I am working in a top 5 company in sales, but they are not moving to marketing. And they say I have an opportunity to work in a company which is not top 5, but say top 20. But वो company छोटा है, ती सर ना ती company छोटी है, माझी आत्ताची company खूप मोठी है. But then the point is, you are a small fish in a big pond, or you want to be a big fish in a small pond. So at times a smaller size company might be able to take that risk on you. Kya re, Sujit, he's good. I think he can make a difference. He can be a good marketing person. But it's a small company, but it's giving you an opportunity. So don't be hung up on my company is top 5, that company is top 20. So be ready to move on. So go for the role. Don't always be stuck on brand names, because that at times happens with students. So this is it from me. I hope these tips will be helpful to you, not today, but then say when you complete say 1 or 2 years in sales, and then you have an aspiration. You might have other aspirations, but if you have an aspiration to move into brand management, product management, if you want to be a marketeer, I hope these 7 tips which I just discussed are helpful to you. I wish you all the best in your career. I hope you do well. I hope you are able to achieve all the dreams that you have. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope the students will be pushed to take positive actions in the various endeavors. Now, I would like to hand over the dice to the Nashri Patil.
Thank you, Ruchita. Good afternoon to all. It's my honor to get you introduced with the face of our Lotus family, Mr. Charudatta Bodankar sir, the Executive Director and Trustee Member of Lotus Business School. Sir is the founder member of Lotus Business School. He always takes up with our vision to develop innovative business leadership. He puts all his efforts to develop Lotus Business School since its establishment. Mr. Charudatta Bodankar sir, Trustee and Executive Director of Lotus Group of Institutes, and has amazed a rich experience of 24 years in various sectors such as IT, education, BFSI, FMCG, etc. He is an alumnus of India's prestigious institute, IIM Calcutta. He is an abroad faculty for economics and marketing from Erasmus and teach in various universities in Europe. Lending his credentials to various companies such as Bajaj Airlines and Tata AIG, he has proven track record of excellence. He is also on the board of companies and institutions in the field of education and IT. He is instrumental in foreign alliance with international universities of repute mainly from Europe. He has lent his expertise in establishing relationships with universities from France due to his well-rounded knowledge of the academic landscape of country. With a passion for leveraging academics instrument to transform life, he is created with being the force behind the Lotus Group of Institute and providing the necessary directional and motivational impetus to the development process of both faculties as well as the student at large. So I request Dr. Rajesh Gade sir to felicitate such a dynamic personality. And now I request sir to please share a few words with us.
Thank you. It's really a tough task. Just after 3 mind-blowing sessions and just before the lunch, coming in front of 300 students, 200 sitting in this hall and 100 students sitting in the hall above, Ankuran. I must congratulate Rajesh Gade sir for the wonderful trick that he has played. See, we are a college, we are into education, so examination, testing, evaluation is the very core part. So what they have done, आपल्या मराठीत म्हणतात एका दगडात 2 पक्षी मारणं. So they are testing your endurance. तुम्ही किती सहन करू शकता? ऐकण्याची किती तुमची ज्ञान घेण्याची ज्ञानचक्षु तुमचे किती तीक्ष्ण आहे. That they are testing, and they are also testing me. How can I engage you even after 3 long sessions? So congratulations Rajesh sir, but I think both of us will get pass. I'm sure. Yes, Nakki? Okay, fine. So actually I also thought that it's a wonderful forum to share my experience, knowledge, and whatever little I know about education, about pharma industry, about business community, I will share with you. And I spent 2-3 hours in preparing a very good presentation, PPT and everything. But coming here, I saw the kind of presentation and everything people have given. I thought better I will keep it with me only. So people have introduced themselves. There was very formal introduction from one of our favorite students about me. But let me introduce myself in a way that Many people ask me from a very small place called Nanded. I traveled down to here in Pune, from Marathwada to Pune, and then traveled all across and started educational institution. Why so? Because I feel I was a very good student, but bad listener. I wanted to learn in my young age, but I don't wanted to listen to what people are talking. And that deprived me about from quality education. आणि त्यावेळेस मी ज्या शिक्षणाला वंचित राहिलो, so I thought after spending few years in corporate, now I should become student for life. I wanted to be student till my last breath. And to be in education, to be student, we initiated educational institutions in Pune and in various places. So my introduction in one word today, I would like to give, I am a student. I wanted to learn everything. My children have grown up, they are working. Whenever they have any sessions, now every day is working from home, I see they are having Zoom meetings and everything. I call them, अरे इकडे ये. काय झालं तुमच्या ट्रेनिंगमध्ये सांग बरं मला. अहो बाबा ते तुमच्या कामाचं नाही तुम्हाला कळणार नाही. झालं आता शिकवायला. मला काही असो मला शिकायचं. So I try to learn. Like Mr. Mahesh was saying, this Google internet has given great opportunity. You can learn anything. So my introduction, I'm a student just like you and wanted to be student. And like everybody has given a disclaimer here, right from Mahesh sir and Soham sir, I would also like to give a disclaimer that I am not from core pharma and healthcare industry. I am from business vertical. We are working in two domains at Lotus, that is agro-business management and pharma industry. But personally, me as Charudatta Bodankar, I have very little exposure about pharma and healthcare industry. But as an outsider, as an alien to this industry, I have my views, which I think would be very interesting for all of you to listen for some time. And I would also like to let you know what is my role in this entire ecosystem. Like we had Mahesh Burandi sir. Now his role at this point of time in his career is moreover a coach, a mentor, a person who can give directions to the companies and individuals in the areas of healthcare and pharma. Mr. Mahesh and Soham, they are active participants, they are actually contributing to the industry. That is their role and they are doing, it was very, their passion, their dedication, their simplicity and everything is really very impressive. I learned a lot in last hour or so. What is my role? What is our role? Basically, our role is an enabler's role. We are enablers. We are not into core hardcore pharma, but our students are from hardcore pharma. They do come from pharma. What is our job? Many people say you just need to polish them, and I hate this word polish because it does nothing. It just rubs you. Our job is to bring core values into business. Like Mahesh sir rightly said, I'll give you a few examples and I'll stop. I know everybody is waiting for lunch. But let me give you a few examples. What is our emphasis? Like he rightly said, if your boss is having few weaknesses, make those your strengths. So you become, very important. But for Mr. Mahesh, it was all right because he is very humble and down to earth. But if you are arrogant and if you are making it very clear to your boss that I am superior than you, just imagine what's your life in that company. So our job is to be enabler. We focus on people's skills. See, in the industry we talk about B2B industry, we talk about B2C industry. You do any 2 to 2, but ultimately it is P2P industry. It is people to people. So our job in Lotus is to make professional with very high core values, professionals with people skills, those who can lead the teams, who can become part of the teams. We want people with all productivity skills, like he gave example of maybe Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, and we wanted to go beyond that. It's not only Excel and PowerPoint now, it is ERP system, it is Salesforce, and so many things. So those we wanted to have professionals equipped with this productivity skills. There is again one more area that people miss on is the positive attitude and simple common sense. I should not use word simple because it is very important. But common sense is also need of the day to day. Understanding, observing small things, analytical skills, all those skills are very important. And unfortunately, at the graduation level, maybe it BSc, BCom, engineering or B Pharma, those skills are generally neglected because our evaluation of one's personality is through the scores card. किती टक्के मिळाले वर्षाच्या शेवटी? 90% मिळाले तर हुशार, 60% 70% मिळाले तर काम चालव चालतंय, आणि कमी असेल तर मग काळजीच आहे फार मोठी. Now, when I talk into forums of agro business management, I always say की ज्या लोकांना काहीच करता येत नाही त्यांना आपल्याकडे शेतीला लावतात गावात. त्यामुळे तिथे तो प्रॉब्लेम आहे. So similarly, since we are evaluating people on the scale of in the mark memo, there is a problem. त्यामुळे हे people skills आहेत, attitudinal issues आहेत, productivity tools चे issue आहेत, ते issue कोणी address करायचे? That role we have taken upon us. We wanted to give a very resilient, a very forward-looking, a very, person with very open mind to this industry, to the pharma industry and the pharma world. And we have to do a lot of unlearning for that. Like Soham has spent a lot of his time on talking about sales and marketing and all that stuff. I give you one example. The word of sales has a stigma. People don't like that word, right? But what I learned, and I have designed a program called Smart in Lotus Business School, which is dedicated to sales. So what I feel that sales is not a separable thing from your life. From the time that you get birth, by the time that you arrive on this planet Earth, you are selling. When a baby cries, what he or she is telling? She is selling that she needs an attention. Somebody needs to attend. When you grow up, you are selling yourself. आपण ज्याला हट्ट म्हणतो. हट्ट काय? दोन लेकरं हट्ट करतात. एक रट्टे खातो आणि एकाला त्याचा हट्ट पूर्ण होतो. का? Because that guy has a selling skills. Right? So when you grow up in your family, there are children who get passed with everything. They get everything because they have better selling skills to their parents. When you go out, become young, and when you propose to some girl or boy, what are you doing? You are selling yourself. In our industry also, when we say we are in HR, what you are doing? You are selling your company, you are selling your position at lesser cost. You are attracting good talent at a comparatively lesser cost. It means you are selling. So selling is everywhere. And I am very fortunate that in some point of time I was into sales. And I would not like to name that organization, but in that organization people used to look at sales people like, ये तो sales वाले, इनको क्या समझता है, इनका तो काम है बैग लेके घूमना. So fortunately I grew up in that company, became VP and all, and in one such conference, when I stood up and started speaking, I introduced myself. I'm working as a salesman in this company. And believe me, after 6 months down the line, when I attended another conference, my CEO introduced in the same fashion in that company. So I strongly feel sales skills are, you be into sales domain or you don't be into sales domain. That is different part. But sales skills for lives are very important. So दिस मेकिंग अनलर्निंग ऑफ सो मेनी थिंग्स कि ये बुरा होता है, ये अच्छा नहीं होता है, ये जो हमने सीख के आए हैं, आपण शिकून येतो त्या ते सुद्धा आम्हाला लोटसमध्ये काम करावं लागतं. I fully agree with Mr. Mahesh when he said that there are so many good teachers, so many stuff, TED Talks and blogs and everything is available on the internet. Mahesh sir, let me tell you, from last around 5 years, I am trying to convince my teacher to stop teaching. हमें सिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है, हमारा मुलांना शिकवायची गरज नहीं है. Everything is available them at a finger top. How many students, I give you example, how many students have gone into a college and university to learn WhatsApp? How many of you have, how many of you are PhD in Instagram? Nothing, you have learned, right? There's so many things that you are learning. So at Lotus also, last 5 years, my entire impetus is on stop teaching. What I want my faculty is to generate interest, to create curiosity, to tell them the applicability of what are they learning. Because many of the students have false understanding about topics, about so many things. Don't invalidate them. अरे तुला कळत नाही, तू मूर्ख. No, don't invalidate them, but take them to the area where they can see the light. Just make curiosity. They are smart enough. त्यांना एकदा कळालं ना त्या विषयाने काय होणार आहे त्यांच्या आयुष्यात, खरंच खूप कामाचं आहे, मग शिकवायची गरज नाही. सर म्हणाल्यासारखं हार्वर्डचे लोक आहेत, आपल्यापेक्षा खूप त्याला काय म्हणतात प्रतिष्ठावान लोक आहेत ज्यांच्याकडनं ते शिकू शकतात. तुम्ही इनॅबलर राहा, त्यांच्या शंकाचं निरसन करा, त्यांना एक क्युरियोसिटी निर्माण करा, क्विज घ्या, केस स्टडीज डिस्कस करा, पुढे ते करतील सगळं. Geopolitics is an area where people give least importance. Now, since it just came to me, since I am talking on the dais of pharma, now whatever is happening in Europe, like Ukraine and all, how pharma industry is very crucial. I will give you a small example and stop here, because I know it's not lecture, so I will not continue for a long time. Now, I don't know how many of you heard a name called Kristalina Georgieva. Now, Kristalina Georgieva, she is head of IMF. IMF काय? International Monetary Fund. कशासाठी असतो इंटरनॅशनल मॉनिटरी फंड? जनरली तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल की दोज कंट्रीज वेन दे आर फॉल शॉर्ट ऑफ ऑल रिसोर्सेस, शेवटचा तारण उपाय म्हणजे IMF कडे जायचं. आता श्रीलंकेवर आपल्या ती वेळ आलेली आहे. काल पाकिस्तानच्या एक्सटर्नल अफेअर्स मिनिस्टर दोहाहून वापस आलेत. IMFने त्यांना वापस पाठवलं की आम्ही तुम्हाला मदत करू शकत नाही. वापस आल्या पाकिस्तानमध्ये 30 रुपयांनी पेट्रोल वाढलं. IMFची डोस. तर IMFच्या या हेड आहेत क्रिस्टलिना, त्या म्हणाल्या मी भारताला भीक मागते, आय बेग इंडिया टू स्टार्ट बीट एक्सपोर्ट. भारताने गव्हाची निर्यात जी थांबवली आहे ती सुरू करावी. आता तुम्हाला पुन्हा वाटत असेल फार्माचा याच्यात काय संबंध आहे, मी येतोय त्या विषयावर. ह्या जिओ पॉलिटिक्सचं अंडरस्टँडिंग आहे जे प्रत्येकाला असलं पाहिजे. Now what is role of pharma? I am coming to it. So the IMF is begging India to start wheat export because they know असे खूप देश आहेत तिथे जर गव्हाची आणि अन्नधान्याची कमी झाली तर ते भीक मागायला IMF कडे येणार आणि IMF पुरणार नाही खूप लोकांना. 2, 4, 5 देशांना ते सपोर्ट करू शकतात, पण एका वेळेस 25-50 देश आले तर दे कॅन नॉट सपोर्ट एनीवन. म्हणून अशी वाईट परिस्थिती येऊ शकते आणि त्यात भारत हा मोठा तारणहार आहे जगाचा. India is so strong in such a strong position. How much wheat Ukraine is exporting, but rest of the world should able to produce, cultivate wheat and export. So there is a geopolitics. For fertilizers you require natural gas, and Russia is biggest exporters of fertilizers and natural gas. Because of this war, there are sanctions on Russia, and there are sanctions on their currency, ruble. There are no banks are dealing in ruble. So even if you wanted to pay Russia and buy some fertilizer, there are no ruble available. If your country doesn't have ruble, you cannot pay to Russia. You cannot डॉलर देऊन रुबल आज विकत घेता येत नाही, तुमच्याकडे असतील तर असतील. So in coming days there would be a huge shortage of fertilizers. श्रीलंकेने फर्टिलायझर्स बॅन केले म्हणून अन्नाचा तुटवडा झाला. तर जगात गव्हाचं उत्पन्न, लेंटिल्स डाळींचं उत्पन्न, कॉर्नचं उत्पन्न, राईसचं उत्पन्न सगळं कमी होणार आहे, कारण फर्टिलायझर्स नसतील. प्लस युक्रेन युरोपमध्ये क्रायसिस चालू आहे आणि त्याच वेळेस श्रीमंत देश खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणात स्टॉक करणार आणि त्याच्यात फक्त भारतच का अपेक्षा आहे, कारण मित्रांनो इंडिया हॅज very steady source of fertilizer from Russia, and what India has said, in exchange with fertilizers we can't give you rubles, but we can give you medicines. Since our pharma industry is so resilient and so strong that we are in a position to do barter system with China, which US can't stop us. So that is the importance of pharma industry, and to understand this importance you should understand the geopolitics, and that is the emphasis of Lotus Business School. We may not be able to give you very pharma knowledge mentors coming in, but since you are already B.Pharm, our impetus would be making you enlightened with so many other things like people scales, like productivity scales, like geopolitics, and so many other things. That is the impotence here, and that is, I don't know wherever you will learn, but take my words of experience that today's world is people with 360-degree knowledge. You cannot live in silos. No society, no person, no country, no company can. It's a world of association. It's a world of being together and helping each other. So having this kind of personality, having this kind of 360-degree approach towards your personality and then career is very important. And I think this is what we are trying here in LBS. And I think there are so many topics. I'm so excited to share our plans, what we have done, our achievements, our failures, everything. But I think the time is up, and I think Rajesh sir, मी आणि विद्यार्थी दोघेही पास झालो. तुम्ही मला ऐकून घेतलं आणि मी तुम्हाला फार काही बोर केलं नाही, आणि शेवटी आपण वी विल लिव्ह दिस पेपर नाव विथ गुड ग्रेड्स. थँक्यू.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Professor Vivek Keskar sir Vivek Keskar sir, Head of Placement and Corporate Relations, to please take the charge of the further event.
Good afternoon. My name is very awkward as I'm having a feeling like Maninder Singh batting after Sachin Tendulkar. It's okay. I am not going to take much of your time, but I have very important responsibility of thanking for the event. We had given very apt name for this event, Future of Pharmaceutical Industry. And I see that future of India is sitting in front of us, and the practicing managers and the practicing stalwarts of industry are there in front of me. Our role is in between. We being a management education institute, we are in between, and we play a major role in between the industry and students. So you might have experienced that in today's event as well. Now, as far as the major role of industry is concerned, or maybe educational institute like us is concerned, is to enhance your employability, which happens through such kind of events or such kind of activities. Now, for us also, it is very important to understand what exact industry think with respect to the future. Parallelly, we get so many inputs. The way you might have gained n number of inputs out of the event, we have learned so many things out of this the process. I am sure it will be helpful for us as well to enhance the efficiency of the course, to give more content, to give more justice to the content of the course, and in turn it will add value to the whole process of education. So I am really thankful to Mahesh sir, I am thankful to K. Satya Mahesh sir, I am thankful to Soham Wag sir for investing their time in our event, and I am really thankful to entire team of Lotus, those who have organized such a nice event. I am thankful to my management, Bodankar sir, I am thankful to Varpade sir, I am thankful to everyone those who have participated in this event, because without their participation and contribution it will not have been successful. So once again, thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience participation. And this is not the end of the event, this is just a first winning. Second winning will start post lunch. So once again, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to recollect some energy, so I request everyone to please have the lunch. The arrangement for the same is done in the cafeteria for students, and for all the guests and principal of the colleges, please head to the second floor for the same. And for lunch, first only girls will go.
Student, please wait.
Thank you.
Student, please wait. First guest will move, then will go. Please wait.
And there is one announcement. After the lunch, everyone please gather in the same hall.
Please be seated. Please. Okay, so it's very difficult to give such instruction to all of you, but it's required due to there are 300 students in campus. So it's my sincere request to all of you. We always respecting to women and girls. So please, girls, they will take lunch first, then boys will enjoy the lunch together. मी पण तुमच्या सोबत थांबणार आहे जेवायला, don't worry. So we'll arrange water here only, don't worry. And please wait, please be seated. And after lunch, you have to gather in same hall. So then we'll start our next part, that is poster presentation and business plan competition. So please kindly support to all system, please. Thank you.